Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. The bodies of two businessmen killed in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar, were exhumed on Thursday evening in the backdrop of huge protests and hours after a magisterial inquiry was ordered into the issue. Sources said that they will be handed over to the families later. Mohammad Altaf Bhatt and dental surgeon Mudassir Gul were among the 4 people who died during an anti-terror operation at a commercial complex in Srinagar's Hyderpora on Monday. The families claimed that the men were killed in cold blood by security forces. Now, earlier on Tuesday, as political parties rallied behind the families, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha ordered a magisterial probe into the killings. Deputy Commissioner of Srinagar appointed additional district magistrate as the inquiry officer.
Late on Wednesday night, the police swooped down on the families of Mudassir Gul and Altaf Bhatt, killed in the Hyderpora encounter, as they sought the bodies be returned. Actions that have only deepened the controversy over the encounter. The Lieutenant Governor has ordered an inquiry. The police said they will address the concerns. Jammu and Kashmir Police Chief Dilbag Singh said that police will look into the demands and grievances of families and that police are open to correction if anything went wrong. But multiple questions remain over the police claims. First, claiming they were killed by terrorist bullets, later claiming it was crossfire.
दोनों नौकर ने किया दरवाजा को, मिलिट्री ने दरवाजा नहीं खोला। उसके बाद फिर उसको मौका दिया गया, नॉक किया, मिलिट्री ने दरवाजा खोल के अंदर फायरिंग कर दिया पिस्टल से। इनकाउंटर होती है, इनकाउंटर होती है, किसका गोली लगा ये तफ्तीश करना होगा। किस जगह लगा, हो सकता है कि अगर उसके बॉडी से पिस्टल का राउंड लगा है तो ये 100% मिलिट्री ने मारा है। अगर एक लगा तो हम कहेंगे कि हमारे फाइट लगा है पूरा।
The police also seemed to admit that controversially, Bhatt and Mudassir Gul may have been used as human shields, accompanying them to where the terrorists were hiding.
दोनों नौकर ने किया दरवाजा को, मिलिट्री ने दरवाजा नहीं खोला। उसके बाद फिर उसको मौका दिया गया, नॉक किया, मिलिट्री ने दरवाजा खोल के अंदर फायरिंग कर दिया पिस्टल से।
There are also contradictions and questions over the claims of the police that the two businessmen were terrorist supporters.
The police first claimed Altaf Bhatt was a terrorist associate, but later referred him as owner of the commercial complex, not terrorist associate.
मैं रोऊंगी नहीं, मैं इनकी तरह नहीं हूँ, बुज़दिल नहीं हूँ। मैं इनकी तरह जो मेरे बाप को कमरे में लेके मारा, मैं वो बुज़दिल नहीं हूँ। मैं सबके सामने आऊंगी, मैं बोलूंगी मेरा बाप बेगुनाह था, उसको कैसे मारा।
At Altaf Bhatt's home, his daughters are grief-stricken.
दिल है, वो कैसे खुले घूम रहे हैं, वो कैसे रह रहे हैं इस दुनिया में, वो रह कैसे रहे। अब मेरे साथ तो वो हो गया, मैं यतीम हो गई and I accepted and I am proud of my father. लेकिन मैं चाहती हूँ जैसे मैं यतीम हुई और कोई ना हो।
क्रॉस फायरिंग में शहीद नहीं हुए थे, उनको 2 बार कमरे में लिया, 2 बार टॉर्चर किया, उनको तीसरी बार उनको सीधे सीने पे गोली लगाई
और वो अब
बॉडी भी नहीं दे रहे हैं ये लोग। हम हमारी ये प्लीज, हमारी ये रिक्वेस्ट है, हमें अपने पापा को आखिरी बार हमें देखना है।
The father of Amir Magre has also contested police claims that his son was a terrorist. Abdul Latif Magre is an anti-terrorist crusader in Kashmir and recipient of Army's citation certificate.
मैंने खुद पत्थर से मिलिटेंट मारा है और खुद मुझे गोलियां आई हैं। मेरा एक भाई चचेरा, वो भी गोलियों से मिलिटेंटों ने मारा। मैंने बच्चों को बड़े मुश्किल से छुपा छुपा के जनाब पाला था और पढ़ाया था। आज उसका रिजल्ट ये निकला कि एक हिंदुस्तानी आदमी पत्थर से मिलिटेंट को मारता है और उसके बच्चे को मिलिटेंट बनाते हैं और उसको गोलियां लगाकर मार देते हैं।
This is second controversial encounter in last 16 months in Kashmir when government has agreed to hold an inquiry. Last year, an army probe has indicted its own troops for a fake encounter in Shopia when 3 innocent persons were killed and passed off as Pakistani terrorists. The question is, will there be an impartial probe in Hyderpora encounter? Will the victims get justice? In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Now, new satellite images accessed by NDTV show that China has constructed a second enclave or cluster of at least 60 buildings in Arunachal Pradesh. The new enclave did not exist in 2019 according to the satellite images. A year later, it can be seen. It lies 93 kilometers east of a China-constructed village in Arunachal Pradesh, a big encroachment first reported by NDTV in January and which was confirmed by a Pentagon report just days ago.
New satellite images accessed by NDTV show that China has constructed a second enclave or cluster of at least 60 buildings in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, this lies 93 kilometers east of the China-constructed village in Arunachal, a big encroachment first reported by NDTV in January. This was confirmed by a US Pentagon report. But let's talk about the second enclave. Now, this enclave that you see here did not exist in 2019 according to satellite images. A year later, it can be seen. Let's make this more clear. The image you see is from March 2019. As you can see, there's nothing here, just snow, no enclave. Now compare March 2019 on your left with September this year on your right. The enclave of more than 64 structures has evidently been completed. So the big question, where exactly is this? What you see on your screens is Bharat Maps, a government-run online map service. Enter the coordinates of the village and the exact location shows up. The enclave is in the Shiomi district, a remote district of Arunachal Pradesh. Now, the image you see here is actually the digital vector of the state of Arunachal Pradesh, downloaded from the Survey General of India at cost and superimposed onto Google Earth Pro. It's the official boundary. You can see the exact location here as well, which we've marked. Now, these images show not just dozens of buildings, but also a structure with a flag of China painted on a rooftop, which we've highlighted there, large enough to be spotted by imaging satellites. The giant flag appears to assert a territorial claim to this area. Now, the enclave is located in an area where local geography makes access to this valley much more conducive from the Chinese side than from the Indian side. The area is separated by steep mountain ranges from Indian controlled territory. A photograph of this enclave was published in July by the Xinhua News Agency, the state-run press agency of the People's Republic of China. They've named it. It's called Kyungling. This is the very same place. Now, in a statement to NDTV, the Indian Army has said the location corresponding to the coordinates mentioned in your query, we asked them this query, lies to the north of the line of actual control in Chinese territory. But this statement does not refute the fact that the construction of this enclave seems to lie between the line of actual control and the international boundary. In other words, within Indian territory illegally occupied by China.
The other big story, Paytm debuted on the stock markets on Thursday and shares plunged 27% at the Bombay Stock Exchange. Founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma told NDTV that no investor comes for one day. It's like a test match series and it's not over if you lose 2 early wickets. He also turned emotional during his address at the Bombay Stock Exchange.
जब भी कभी राष्ट्रगान आता है और एक लाइन आती है भारत भाग्य विधाता और मेरी आंखों में से आंसू आ जाते हैं. ये जो वर्ड है भारत भाग्य विधाता, आई थिंक ये मेरी लाइफ का, मुझे नहीं पता क्यों, बट it just overwhelms me, man. It just overwhelms me. Just saying these words gets tears in my eyes.
Paytm founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma in tears as he led India's biggest IPO yet for the stock exchange listing. While the IPO has created 350 new millionaires within the company, retail investors who bought the IPO were in for a rude shock. The stock tanked 9% and continued all the way to 27%, ending at 1,564 rupees a share or 20% lower on the Bombay Stock Exchange.
I also have to say, I don't think retail investors necessarily look at a company for 1 day or 1 hour.
And unfortunately, as far as Paytm is concerned, the management had said that they are not sure as to when we can see real profits. I think this is what gave in the IPO.
While experts have their concerns, Macquarie's recent report suggests Paytm's business model lacks focus and direction. So where do the recent unicorns who have made their debut on D Street stand? While the market cap of food aggregator Zomato is at 1.21 lakh crore, Paytm is a close second at 1.01 lakh crore on day one of listing, and Nykaa is at 1 lakh crore as per BSE. Not too far from traditional economy stocks like Tata Motors, where the market cap is at 1.69 lakh crore, or ITC's 2.92 lakh crore. Paytm's poor listing isn't taking the shine away from startup IPOs anytime soon. Sakshi Bajaj for NDTV.
The Supreme Court on Thursday refused former Mumbai top cop Parambir Singh protection from arrest in an extortion case against him. The court demanded that he disclose his location. Where is Mr. Parambir Singh? The court asked.
The fall from grace for Mumbai's former police chief is all but complete. Today, the Supreme Court demanded to know whether Parambir Singh, wanted in extortion cases, had fled India.
No relief even from the Supreme Court of India for Mumbai's former police commissioner Parambir Singh. The court wants to know where the missing former top cop is and whether he has fled the country or not. The court will hear his plea on 22nd November.
Tough questions for Parambir Singh, who is seeking protection from arrest. The court said he needs to disclose where he is. Justice S.K. Kaul asked, in which part of the world is the petitioner in? His lawyer replied, if I'm allowed to breathe, I can get out of the hole. Justice S.K. Kaul replied, are you saying that he will come to India only if courts protect him? Justice S.K. Kaul also said, he may be a former police commissioner, but the rule of law applies to everyone. NCP chief Sharad Pawar hit out at the BJP for misusing central powers. Parambir Singh's allegations of extortion earlier this year led to former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh's arrest by the ED. Apart from Deshmukh, Pawar's nephew and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar and the Shiv Sena Sanjay Raut are facing ED and income tax cases.
आज बाहेर आहे आणि अनिल देशमुख आत आहेत आणि त्याचं मुख्य कारण केंद्र सरकारच्या सत्तेचा गैरवापर.
सबको पूरा हिसाब चुकाना पड़ेगा. पवार साहब ने जो कहा है उसको मैं एंडोर्स करता हूं.
Former police officials say while the incident has hit morale badly, the police force is happy that finally the law is catching up with Parambir Singh for his alleged misdeeds.
I know that it has affected the morale of the Mumbai police very badly. People don't want to even talk about it. They keep their heads down.
Now that the action is being taken, most of the policemen are happy about it. Now at least the department will be cleaned.
While the Mumbai police are dealing with the shocking allegations, it seems to be the end of the road for Parambir Singh. With Anil Deshmukh, against whom he made sensational extortion allegations, facing the law, options are running out for him. With Sukirti Dwivedi in New Delhi, in Mumbai, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Channi on Thursday visited Gurdwara Darbar Sahib Kartarpur in Pakistan along with about 30 persons including his cabinet ministers using the visa-free Kartarpur corridor. He thanked the Prime Minister and Home Minister for reopening the 4.5-kilometer road to the revered site.
Punjab Chief Minister crossing into Pakistan to pray at Darbar Sahib Gurdwara in Kartarpur along with 3 ministers.
Kartarpur, where Guru Nanak spent the last 18 years of his life, is one of the holiest shrines for Sikhs.
Ahead of Guru Purab, the CM took the opportunity to announce a free bus service for pilgrims and made demands to the centre.
ऐसी जाके आए हैं, सानू उत्थे दी संगतां ने, उत्थे दी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने बहुत प्यार ते सत्कार दिता है. इसलिए हर शरधावान व्यक्ति उत्थे जा सके. पंजाब सरकार पूरे पंजाब दे विच फ्री बसां चलावेगी.
The 4.7-kilometer corridor was opened for the first time since the pandemic.
शब्दों में नहीं बयान की जा सकती. बस यही लग रहा है कि मालिक ने प्रार्थना सुन ली है.
अपने घर जा रहे हैं, अपने पिता से मिलने जा रहे हैं.
जो अपने माँ बाप को मिलके खुशी होती है वैसी खुशी महसूस कर रहे हैं.
The opposition BJP said the credit for opening the corridor should go to the Prime Minister. The party is contesting the upcoming state election without the much larger Akali Dal for the first time in decades.
श्रद्धा को देखते हुए नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी ने करतारपुर को कॉरिडोर को खोलने का जो निर्णय लिया और गुरुपूर्व से पूर्व खोला उसको, इसके लिए सरकार बधाई की पात्र है.
However, the visit was overshadowed by internal tensions in the Congress. State Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu dropped out of CM's team. Sidhu's media advisor hinted on social media that there was a deliberate attempt to sideline Sidhu by the party, saying he completely agrees with the questions being raised within the Congress party in Punjab that the Punjab government did not ensure Sidhu being taken along with fears of him stealing the show. Pakistan, however, praised Sidhu for playing a key role in the opening up of the Kartarpur corridor in the first place. And this protest by guest teachers from the state, as the CM returned home, a reminder that he will need all the blessings he can for the political challenges on the road to elections. With the reopening up of Kartarpur corridor, the wishes of millions from the Sikh community have been finally fulfilled. However, with Punjab Assembly elections just round the corner, it has also kicked off credit wars among the political parties that's going to last at least till the next elections in Punjab. With camera person Ashok Mahale and Mohammad Ghazali in Chandigarh, I'm Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
Welcome back. Heavy spell of rain has led to flooding in Tirupati town in Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. You can see those dramatic shots there. Water has entered people's houses. Roads have turned into fast-flowing rivers now, especially the Ghat road in Tirupati town of the Chittoor district of Andhra Pradesh. This after a heavy spell of rain. Now, Delhi air quality remains in the very poor category. One of the steps taken to clean up the toxic air by the Environment Ministry's Commission of Air Quality Management is to put construction activity on hold. But this has impacted the daily wage labourers, the workers. Sonakshi Chakravarti has this report.
35-year-old Sumit Kumar, a resident of Bihar, came to Delhi to make a living as a construction worker, but lost all his savings during the COVID lockdown. Now with Delhi putting construction activities on hold to fight pollution, he says he cannot survive.
ये बात तो सही है कि हम लोगों का तो कोई इसमें कोई ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कहने का मतलब, और वो अपनी मर्जी से कभी भी लगा देते हैं जो ये प्रदूषण है ये है वो है, तो इनकी वो व्यवस्था करे ना, इसका वो कोई तो उपाय सोचे.
Sumit has run out of money, so he has started working at this tea stall. A construction worker's body in Delhi has moved the top court against the ban on construction. These two mechanical engineers, who migrated to Delhi from Kanpur to earn a better living, ask, why is it always the poor who have to suffer?
बस बेमतलब के लिए रोका जा रहा है कि आप काम मत करिए, आपकी वजह से हो रहा है. अगर हर चीज़ हमारी वजह से होता तो काम मैम तो सभी बंद रहता है.
जो हमारे पास जो लड़के हैं काम करते हैं जो बाहर से आए हुए हैं रहने के लिए, तो वो तो मतलब वो पैसा मांगते हैं मुझसे, मगर यहाँ से गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से बंदी कर दी गई है कि जो है आप यहाँ पे काम नहीं कर सकते हैं.
The strategies to fight pollution, according to the Commission of Air Quality Management order, are shut schools and colleges in and around the capital until further notice. Halt on all construction activities till November 21st. Temporarily close 6 coal-fired power plants near Delhi. Private offices advised 50% employees to work from home until Sunday. Ban trucks carrying non-essential goods and private construction in Delhi. Meanwhile, the Delhi Environment Minister says if the halt on construction activity continues, they will consider compensation.
Will you be considering a compensation for them?
अभी तो कुछ दिन के लिए बढ़ाया गया, अगर लांगर होता है तो इस पे सरकार निर्णय लेगी.
Governments may be opting for strategies to fight pollution, but once again it is the common man, daily wage workers, lakhs of them forced to sit at home with no income in hand. The government must consider spending on them and compensate them while they try to survive curfews and shutdowns. In Delhi with Pooja Arya, Shonakshi Chakravarti, NDTV.
And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.